My name's Brittany and I'm with Refined Real Estate, and we are sitting down today with Glenn Cira from Guaranteed Rate to talk about mortgages, first-time home buyers, and how COVID has impacted both. Well, thank you for coming in today. That was, making the drive up. That was very nice.
Well, I wanted to come meet you guys, because we've been working.
How many deals have we done together in?
Probably like 4 or 5, right?
I think so.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So, no, I definitely want to come down and meet you guys. I said I have to. I know you were like, you're not canceling, are you? I said no.
Well, I got the text and I was like, okay, if he cancels, then we have a big problem. I'm driving down there and bringing Mike with me.
Yeah, no, I wasn't going to cancel on you. Definitely not. No.
So, perfect. Well, tell me what's going on from your end with the mortgages.
So the big theme this year has been obviously COVID and the impact. And things have kind of smoothed out since then, since the beginning when everything really hit in March and April. There was a big shock to the market. People were losing their jobs. There was a whole nother layer of tighter guidelines implemented, mostly geared towards credit scores, but mostly self-employed people. And people that are being furloughed, extra paperwork, age of documents has gone down. We used to be able to use documents that were 3 months old, meaning the date of those documents couldn't be more than 90 days from the closing. Now it's 60. Little things like that slows the process down because a lot of the processors and everybody involved in the process isn't used to getting those things. So last minute things come up and say, oh, your asset documents expired. And 2 days before closing, you got to get a new bank statement. And you get a bank statement or a pay stub, and then you have to update the system, which then triggers someone in underwriting to get the file back.
They have to look at everything all over again.
Coupled with the fact that you have all these refinances in the pipeline, everything's taking longer than it usually takes. So with the refinances in the pipeline, COVID and all the extra stuff that goes along with the COVID situation, it's become a lot more difficult to get to the closing table. So you really have to be extra vigilant on keeping your eye on the ball, and also qualifying people, mostly self-employed people. It is extremely hard to get qualified now as a self-employed borrower. Okay, it always has been. It always has been harder than if you were an employee.
Is that because of income documents, or is that because of work history in the field, or how is that really different between self-employed and a W-2 employee?
So self-employed people, we always use their tax returns. W-2, we get basically confirm with the employer your income and your history of earnings with that employer. So it's pretty straightforward. We just need to confirm through the loan process that you work there and your income is X as the pay stubs reflect, and that's pretty straightforward. And then 3 days before, we have to verify you're still there. Self-employment, because of COVID, a lot of small businesses have been impacted. Small businesses have been impacted the most. So we always, for self-employed borrowers, use trailing historical data, what I call, which is last 2 years' tax returns. We just average the income. And if you're in a year like now, late in the year, you use 2019 and 2018 tax returns. And that was it. Now, the difficulty with self-employment used to be that people really write off a lot of stuff. So their revenues are X, but their bottom line reported number, they write everything off because they don't want to pay taxes. That still exists, and it's still very common. But the extra layer is, with COVID, has your business been impacted by COVID? Meaning, we can't just use the last 2 years' tax returns. We use that for your income, but now we need to get a profit and loss report, year to date, that shows where you are, and bank statements.
Okay.
Your last 2 monthly bank statements to show that
you're not pouring out money and that you're bringing
we
things
look
in.
to see, inflows and outflows. So if you say you're making $5,000 a month, your last 2 months' bank statements really need to reflect that you're not burning cash, because that's going to be a barometer of that your business is still operating. Because a lot of restaurants were closed for a while, and I had restaurant owners that their last year's tax returns, they showed a lot of money, but they were closed, and they knew that. The underwriters and the people that make the guidelines at the agencies, they know that, so they
it's hard
require
to hide
this.
under that the doors have been closed, because all doors have been closed for months.
Because they're really worried about, although we are backward looking when we qualify somebody, we always just made the assumption in a normal environment that your business is still operating. But now because of COVID, you can't make that assumption, so they want to see proof. Sometimes they ask for invoices for business.
Wow.
Bank statements, like I said, from the business. So it can be extremely difficult to show that proof.
Yeah, definitely.
So that's been the real impact for people qualifying, has been self-employed and people that have been furloughed.
What about the people that have been furloughed that are getting back to work now? How are you taking that lapse? If someone was on unemployment and now they're back to work, either at a part-time basis or back to what they were before, how are you taking that influx of no income or unemployment to now being back and qualifying people? Are you seeing a lag in being able to qualify them again?
So they just need to be back.
Okay.
If they were furloughed due to COVID, they need to be back. And we need to have at least one pay stub. Now, if they're salaried, it's very easy. A salary employee in our business is gold. It is stability. We know exactly what they're going to get. And as long as they show they're back at work, and that pay stub that they got, that they're back at work, that first one reflects on an annualized basis their salary, we can use that. Very easy. If you're hourly, it's a little bit harder, because what we then have to do is we average hourly income.
Okay.
So if you missed 4 months of the year and now you're back, you only need one pay stub. We're then going to take that pay stub and average your income for the year. And we can't include unemployment income. They will not allow that. So the hourly people, their earnings are going to be down big because they missed 4 months. They missed a third of the year. So those are the people that are being really penalized, let's just say, or it's just, they're not accounting for the fact that they were out due to COVID and now they're back. So it's a little more restrictive for hourly employees. And again, hourly employees are always a little bit more, it's a little more difficult to not only know their qualifying income, because you have to go back and get a lot of income data, different components of income, whether it's overtime or if it's commission, if they do make commission, or it's regular pay. So that's the hourly employees that have been furloughed. It's been a real barrier to them getting qualified.
So I know that we work with a lot of first-time home buyers, and when COVID hit and things started to shut down, we lost not a lot of our clients, but a lot of our first-time home buyers had to go on the back burner. So what should we be telling those people that are getting back to work on what's the best thing for them to do moving forward to qualify for a mortgage? Is that having more in savings? Is it having more pay stubs or trying to get extra hours at work, or what do you recommend for them to do?
So with respect to what they should do, it really depends on what their exact situation is. If they're an hourly employee, what I would tell them is try to get as many hours as you can logged in. Get back and show, you want to get back to your pre-furlough, if you're talking about people that are being furloughed, hours and income, pace. The toughest thing about qualifying in our business is
I had so much fun sitting down with Glenn Cira today to talk about mortgages and how COVID has affected the real estate market. Unfortunately, we had technical difficulties. If you would like more information on mortgages or how COVID has affected the real estate market or real estate in general, make sure to like, follow us, and comment.